My name's Anthony Silva. I'm an aircraft maintenance manager for line maintenance. I just acquired the outstations in the Northern California area. What my topic is going to be about the Airbus A300 unscheduled engine change process. It actually is going to unveil the people behind the curtain, the people who support the process to make the engine and change more fluid and more on time. So what I want to get at is the engine change on the A300 aircraft is deemed unserviceable through MOCC and power plant, along with engineering support to decide that the part is no longer serviceable. So when they deem it as a change engine, the maintenance manager, the line maintenance manager, goes to the departments to help support that, which is MOCC, who plays a big role with the outstation. The fact that they coordinate the parts to get ordered, the engine stand, the tooling, to send it to the station that needs the part. I'm saying the part is actually the engine in itself to get the job done. The line maintenance manager, he focuses on getting manpower and support from other locations, such as like my station, San Francisco. We have to go to Oakland for manpower, or maybe LAX to help us out. Then other people who are involved with that also is QC and also the machinists. There are specialists that are involved that you might need to have. So networking within different departments to help you as a manager, knowing those informations ahead of time is a plus. Also, we have to remind myself is also supply chain logistics. This is what I'm talking about when I say behind the curtains, because what most people see with engine changes and aircraft is mechanics and the aircraft. They don't see who's behind the curtain supporting a situation with an out of service aircraft. And that's what we need to go through. So once the engine is changed and MOCC brings out the part and says, we got things ordered, the mechanic and the manager, we really don't see that part. That's that kind of blind issue, but it's in their tub notes, it's in the AOG screen for parts being ordered, who ordered them. So we find out that's what they're entailed. But when the manager gets their manpower now, we have to schedule the manpower to get everything worked on and it's in sync. Per se is like, when is the engine gonna be there? When is the mechanic gonna be able to start it? So the big key about that is to make sure we get the tooling and the spare engine stand, because the critical part of an Airbus mount is the damage on the pylon. Because if we have 3 days to get the stand and the mount and the tooling there, that's out of service time that it's unproductive. We need to make sure the engine comes down to do a major inspection on the pylon, and Airbus is known for corrosion. That's where machine shop is involved, and running a list for support from either Memphis or LAX. When we have to do that, machinists come involved, QC comes involved, and they have to machine down the damaged area, NDT, and also clad plate the mount itself before the new engine, when it arrives, gets put up and processes that. And the problem is a lot of people don't even know what the role of supply chain logistics has involved with that. And that's how I know one of our individuals here is part of supply chains. Well, so that's Arturo, I think I talked to you about last week.
Yeah.
So what happened was we did have damage on our mount. We did call in those maintenance control, machinists to come involved, and the measures were given, supplied into the ERS that was ported in there for everybody for visual, for all the damage that was taken out. In turn, engineering reviews it and sends it to Airbus manufacturing for their approval and blessing. Once approval and blessing has been given, it comes back again to the engineer, which in turn turns it to machine shop at LAX, their home base, the machinist's home base, to fabricate the bushings that were needed. And once that's done, it goes back to supply chain logistics, which in turn has to create a little more steps than normal than a part to get the parts back to Oakland, or San Francisco. And once that's done, we go ahead and process the the part's installed, NDT it, clad plate it, primer it up, and the new serviceable engine could be installed on the aircraft. I wanted to address these people that are behind the curtains, I first say, and I'm sorry I didn't point you guys out because you're all here. So it's a kind of a good thing to make sure I understand and you guys understand where your role plays are, and it will give you guys recognition on that. I did break down where the pylon replacement, where the pylon repairs are done. Is the hours of manpower is about 70 hours to 75 hours to install the engine with the specialists, QC involvement, and the line maintenance management, and the maintenance technicians working the engine. If there's no repairs needed on the engine, this out of service time is usually 24 to 35 hours. And that's what the difference is for the out of service time. Do you have any questions for me to answer for you?
Did that particular instance, you had machinists involved with it, right?
That's correct.
So did they actually come out to San Francisco to install the bushings?
Yes, when we contacted when we contacted machinists, like I said, when we're networked, I have the machinist phone number, the QC management's phone number, and when that pylon is cleared and inspected, they're on us already saying, hey, how's it look? Once we say it's bad, they do a road trip, and the machinist specialist and the QC specialist comes out automatically, and they're on site until the engine mount is signed off as repaired. Anybody else?
Do they fabricate bushings if needed right on site?
They fabricate the bushings on hand. They have to actually take the measurements. Engineering approves the measurements of the thickness of the bushing, and then Airbus is definitely needed to bless that and come back. And I did learn something this last time, is that after the bushings are fabricated, there actually is no part number. That's where AOG has to get involved and help with the engineering back shop to get that part pushed. And that's another thing AOG doesn't know, and I forgot to mention this too. AOG also helps with pushing the tooling. You don't even, they think you're just handling parts, they're actually handling tooling as well. So that's actually another insight of what goes on in the background. So yes, to answer your question, yes, we do fabricate the bushings. Well, I just want to make sure I understand that, I want you guys to understand that this is a team effort, and a lot of people don't see the players in the game. And that's important because we're all a team. We make sure we have our out of service aircrafts put up and for revenue for when they're needed. So I want to say thank you very much for your time, and I appreciate it.